Here is everyone you need to watch out for in Summer League. So it's finally an amazing time in the NBA. The finals has passed and the NBA draft has passed as well. But we get one of the most exciting times in the NBA, Summer League. You get to see the stars or potential stars that you just drafted in the draft just a couple of weeks ago, and some players who have maybe been on your team for a little while who probably haven't taken that step yet, or maybe they have taken that step. You just need to see some more confirmation, play their game, and kind of see how they get to operate, whether it be in a role where they're the number one player or in a complementary role next to whoever the star on that Summer League team is. It's not the NBA action that you would get October through June, but it's as close as we're going to get to. And if you're a real fan like me who has been yearning for real basketball through this treacherous offseason, then you're definitely loving what you're seeing right now in the Summer League. And thankfully, the Las Vegas Summer League starts today. While as I'm filming the video, the Las Vegas Summer League has begun, and we're beginning to see some of the players play. Now, the Summer League has been going on since, I believe, last Saturday, I believe. You have the Utah and the California League and the Orlando League still has a startup, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the one that everyone pays attention to because it's Las Vegas. So, in the Las Vegas League, there are a couple players and a lot of big names who will be playing. Cooper Flagg, Bronny James, Dalton Knecht, Terrence Shannon Jr. It's a long list of names. But within this list of guys, there are a couple of players that you need to look out for in Summer League to see what they can contribute to their team in the near future. Now, the first couple of guys that I have to speak about that I'll be paying attention to is none other than the Pelicans rookies, Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. There are some other people on this team like Yves Missi, but I want to specifically focus on these guys because I just really want to know how they're going to look. Jeremiah Fears is a prospect who, entering the draft, he had a lot of questions around him. The shooting was questionable, and guards who are small, who are very shifty, who don't shoot the best, but are really good against the rim and playmaking, they typically go one or two ways in the NBA. Either they're really good or they're not as productive. But a player like Jeremiah Fears, who I love coming into this draft, has a lot of things to like. I mean, the shiftiness and the speed and the explosiveness is real. I feel like he can get downhill almost at will, and I think although the shooting isn't consistent, he can definitely still shoot the ball enough to where it can be a legit threat on the court, and he's not just going to be somebody you can't play at all. For Derek Queen, I love Derek Queen coming out of college, but one big question about him was him being in NBA playing shape and his defense. Now, unfortunately, in their game today, on Thursday, Derek Queen did not look very well at all, in the entire essence. His defense wasn't that good. He also wasn't excelling on offense as well. He started to pick it up later in the game, but it was clear he wasn't in shape, and the defense just did not look that good. So, as a team Summer League, Derek Queen is definitely a guy that Derek Queen is definitely a guy that I will be looking at to see how he can perform. And Jeremiah Fears, he played well in his first Summer League game, which is no surprise. He's a dog, and he's a lot to like about him. But it's a lot of things just to monitor about these guys, with these guys over the next couple of weeks in Summer League. The next guy is none other than Kobe Buffkin for the Atlanta Hawks. Now, Kobe Buffkin is a guy who a lot of people love coming out of college. When he was coming out of Michigan, a lot of people just love the idea of Kobe Buffkin and his game and his fit on the Hawks, especially in a Quinn Snyder-like offense next to a Trae Young. Just, how that mentor and development and all that stuff goes. So, Kobe Buffkin is a guy who honestly not probably will make the too good to be in Summer League team, but he is a guy who we are looking at to show some real just major strides and flashes in the Summer League while he's playing. Look to be a leader of his team, just making plays, whether it be offensively, defensively, shooting the ball, getting to rim, setting up teammates, whatever it is, he's the guy we're looking at. And another guy on the Atlanta Hawks who we'll also be looking at is none other than Ace Anul, and just how he can excel in his role that he's going to be playing in the Hawks, which is how he will be in the pick and roll as a finisher, as a roll man, and just different decisions he can make with the ball in his hands coming out of the pick and roll. I mean, he's only playing next to a Trae Young. He's very athletic, a long, rangy wing, and we just have to see how he looks in the pick and roll because ultimately we know what's going to be with Trae Young. That's the same role that he's going to have to play. We're not looking at him to be some kind of great shooter or anything like that. Would like to see some strides on defense as well, but the main thing is just to see his decision making in the pick and roll. Speaking of the Timberwolves, the next two people that we'll be looking at is none other than Terrence Shannon Jr. and Rob Dillingham. Terrence Shannon Jr. is a guy who obviously had a big run in the playoffs for the Timberwolves and gave them a very memorable game, which was phenomenal and Timberwolves needed. And now they're going to need him more than ever through the season because Nickeil Alexander-Walker is now in the Atlanta Hawks. But Terrence Shannon Jr. has to showcase his ability defensively and offensively and show some strides in the same way that he can fill in that role that Nickeil Alexander-Walker provided for them. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to be a big loss, but that loss can hurt a little bit less if Terrence Shannon Jr. can alleviate some of that stress off of Anthony Edwards. But in order to do this, he does have to showcase it in Summer League. And the same with Rod Dillingham. The Minnesota Timberwolves obviously need another ball handler next to Anthony Edwards. It's no surprise, and we all saw the type of toll that having Anthony Edwards be your main decision maker and main playmaker can take on your team and how far you guys can really go. So, Rob Dillingham, as Mike Conley gets older and as they look to see if they can get another guard, you're going to be looking at Rob Dillingham to kind of fill in this role and be another ball handler and legit creator on this offense. And another guy is Behringer for this team. As Rudy Gobert starts to, take up more cap and be on this team for longer and longer, as much as he raises the floor of this team, it's clear that he definitely does limit the ceiling of this team just because of how horrid he is on offense. So if you can get a guy like Behringer who looked really well in his first game defensively and offensively to just be able to slide in and make Rudy a bit more expendable, then the Timberwolves, the sky is the limit. But this is a guy you have to keep your eye on. Another guy that you need to look at is none other than Nikola Topic for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's a guy who had a lot of hype coming into the draft last year, and although he was sat out this entire season as OKC won the championship, he is a guy who could be very, and I mean very crucial for them this upcoming season coming off the bench. His ability to get downhill as more of a north and south type of guy, really aggressive with getting downhill, going to the rim and making plays, and just with his IQ, he has to showcase this in Summer League, and it's something to just watch out for and think about how it can translate to the NBA. Another guy you have to look out for is none other than Ron Holland for the Detroit Pistons. Ron Holland is a great player, but it's clear he has some struggles this upcoming season. And now with him putting on that new 5, because Malik Beasley isn't going to be in the roster, I'm very curious to see how he looks throughout the Summer League, because he is a guy who you would hope would just all around dominate Summer League and prove that he doesn't even belong in the Summer League and on this roster. But we have yet to see it, and just something to keep an eye on. And the final two players is none other than Cooper Flagg and Amari Williams. Cooper Flagg for obvious reasons. He was number 1 overall draft pick, and everybody wants to know what the number 1 overall draft pick looks like, especially when you're of the caliber of a Cooper Flagg. You were the number 1 draft pick. You have all these things that you're bringing. You have all the hype around you. So Cooper Flagg is a guy who we just hope to see dominate Summer League with all the things he brings offensively and defensively. But we have yet to see, but our eyes will definitely be on him. Another player is also Amari Williams for the Celtics, who was a bit of a sleeper in the draft. He was drafted by the Celtics in the 2nd round out of Kentucky. He's a guy who was very smart with the ball in his hands, could probably be really good when it comes to dribble handoffs and things of that nature on the Celtics, but he has to showcase some of this in Summer League, and we're just going to be very curious to see how that looks. Another guy, or another 2 guys for the Lakers that you have to look out for is obviously Dr. Connect and Bronny James, just to see if they are legit NBA players. Bronny had looked really good in a couple of Summer League games that he has played so far. Dalton Connect, not so much. But these are just 2 guys you have to keep an eye on. And I think one thing to keep in mind throughout the Summer League is that these guys are going to struggle in Summer League. They are young guys. They are developing. They're going to have lapses, and they're going to have times when they don't look good. But that is not an indication of how well they are going to be in the NBA. It's plenty of players who didn't look good in the Summer League, like a Cade Cunningham, like a Trae Young, who just struggled in the Summer League. But when it came time to the NBA season, we all see what they look like, and now they're some of the best players in the entire league. But they didn't look that good in the Summer League. And they are an obvious testament to, hey, just because you don't look good in the Summer League, or even if you look good in the Summer League, it doesn't mean that's going to translate to the NBA. So kind of hold off on some of your hot takes and some of the crazy things you might say in reaction to the Summer League, and just keep that in mind about these players. But that's all I have to say. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section below. Who are you watching this Summer League? Actually, let me know down below, answer that question. But that's all I have for now. And until next time, peace.